In the cradle of ancient Babylon, beneath towering ziggurat temples and flanked by silent stone gods, young Abraham, first opened his eyes to a world steeped in idolatry and pagan rites. Around him, priests and townsfolk bowed and whispered prayers to statues carved from wood and clay, powerless idols that could neither speak nor hear. Even as a child, he felt a gulf between these hollow figures and the living creator he sensed beyond them. "O my father, why do you worship that which does not hear or see and will not benefit you at all?" he would later implore, calling out to Hājar, his father, amidst the temple's flickering torchlight. In that Quranic reprimand, we glimpse Ibrahim's early courage. "O my father, do you take idols as gods? It is clear to me that you and your people are in manifest error," a radical challenge against his family's ways. By night, Ibrahim's gaze turned upward to the heavens. On one evening, the sky unfolded a bright star. He whispered, "This is my Lord," until dawn proved it false as it vanished beyond the horizon. He tested the moon and the sun in turn. Each celestial body shone gloriously, only to set and leave him in darkness. With each sunrise and sunset, his conviction grew. None of these could be his Lord. At dawn on the third night, he declared, "This is my Lord, this is greater." And when the sun finally slipped away, he stood before the people and announced, "O my people, indeed I am free from what you associate with Allah." In the silence that followed, he raised his voice with unwavering resolve. "Indeed, I have turned my face toward He who created the heavens and the earth, inclining toward truth, and I am not of those who associate others with Allah." In other words, Ibrahim knew the one true God by the light of reason and faith, and he rejected the star worship, moon gazing, and sun glory that surrounded him as idols. This conviction soon brought him head-to-head with his own father. In a quiet, intense scene, Ibrahim confronted Hājar amid the dust and incense of the temple. "O my father, do you worship what cannot even hear or see, and which benefits you not at all?" he implored. Furious, Hājar thundered at him, "Do you abandon my gods, O Abraham? If you do not desist, I will surely stone you." The young prophet stood undaunted. With calm dignity he replied, "Peace be upon you. I will pray for your forgiveness from my Lord. He has truly been most gracious to me." The Quran later relates that he even continued to hope for his father's guidance while making clear he would worship none of the idols Hājar held sacred. By this point, Ibrahim had broken with the idols and with many of his own kin. He had embraced Tawheed, pure monotheism, with all his heart. Having turned away from ancestral falsehood, he devoted himself solely to Allah, the Creator. In his mind and heart, he repeated the powerful claim, "I am indeed free from what you worship besides Allah." His childhood trust that he had been taught to know God and guided on a straight path was now fully realized in action. Ibrahim's early years of faith set him apart as a friend of God, Khalilullah, an unshakable believer among idolaters. With his purpose revealed and his resolve steeled by conviction, Ibrahim's story was just beginning. Ahead lay the dramatic confrontation every idolater in Babylon would remember, the night the prophet would shatter the silent gods with his own hands and confront the roaring fire that Nimrod's command would ignite. This powerful test, the breaking of the idols, and Ibrahim's trial by fire awaits in part 2 of our series. History remembers many fires, but there was only one fire in which fire itself was defeated. This is not a legend, not a metaphor, not poetry. This is the moment when Allah showed humanity that nature obeys Him, not kings, not crowds, not cruelty. Ibrāhīm, عليه, was not surrounded by believers, not supported by an army, not protected by power. He stood alone, facing an entire nation, a tyrant king, and a blazing inferno prepared to erase his name forever. Yet Allah chose him to show the world one eternal truth. When a servant stands for Tawheed, even fire becomes cool. This is the story of the night idols fell, the day false gods were exposed, and the moment faith rewrote the laws of the universe. Before you continue, pause for one moment. If you believe Islamic stories should be told with truth, depth, and strength, subscribe to Islam for You. Like this video so this reminder reaches hearts that are burning with doubt, and comment Allahu Akbar, because what you are about to hear is not the victory of a man, but the victory of Allah over all falsehood. When the people of Babylon left for their festival, the temples stood silent, filled with rows of idols dressed in gold and cloth, surrounded by offerings they could not eat. Ibrāhīm alayhi salam entered alone. No crowd, no witness, only truth standing before lies. He looked at the idols and said with piercing clarity, "Do you not eat? Do you not speak?" There was no answer. Silence exposed them. Then, with deliberate purpose, he shattered every idol, breaking arms, heads, bodies, until only the largest remained. Around its neck, he placed the axe. This was not vandalism, it was a message. When the people returned and saw their gods destroyed, rage shook the city. "Who has done this to our gods?" they cried. And they said, "We heard a young man speak of them. He is called Ibrāhīm." They dragged him before the crowd. No fear in his eyes, no hesitation in his voice. When they demanded an explanation, Ibrāhīm pointed calmly to the largest idol and said, "Ask it if it can speak." The truth struck them like lightning. For a moment they were silent, knowing the answer, knowing their gods were powerless. But arrogance returned faster than humility ever does. Instead of accepting the truth, they chose revenge. They decided to burn him alive. Wood was gathered for days, some narrations say weeks. A fire so massive birds could not fly over it. Catapults were built because no one could get close enough to throw him in. And as Ibrāhīm alayhi salam was bound and launched into the flames, the angels asked Allah for permission to help him. Allah refused them all. Jibreel alayhi salam came and asked, "Do you need anything?" And Ibrāhīm replied with words that echo through time, "Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs." Then Allah commanded the fire with words never spoken before and never repeated again. "O fire, be coolness and safety upon Ibrāhīm." In an instant, the laws of physics collapsed. Flames that consumed everything else did not burn even a hair on his body. The ropes turned to ash, but his skin was untouched. From the center of destruction, Ibrāhīm alayhi salam emerged alive, calm, protected, while falsehood stood exposed and defeated. But the trial did not end there. Ibrāhīm was brought before King Namrud, a ruler drunk on power who claimed lordship over life and death. When Ibrāhīm said, "My Lord is the one who gives life and causes death," Namrud mocked him. So Ibrāhīm ended the debate with one sentence that shattered tyranny. "Indeed, Allah brings the sun from the east, so bring it from the west." Silence. The king was defeated without a sword being raised. Ibrāhīm alayhi salam was expelled, threatened, and forced to leave his homeland. Yet Allah honored him, calling him Khalilullah, the close friend of Allah. From this man would come prophets, nations, and the legacy of pure monotheism that still stands today. If this story strengthened your faith, subscribe now, because the story of Ibrāhīm does not end here. Ahead are sacrifices that shake the heart, journeys that change history, and a legacy that leads directly to the house of Allah. Like this video so this truth spreads beyond algorithms, and comment Allah wa ni'mal wakil, because when the world throws you into fire, Allah alone is enough. Fire failed to burn him, a king failed to silence him, a nation failed to stop him. But the greatest tests of Ibrāhīm alayhi salam were not faced before crowds or flames. They were faced in loneliness, migration, and silent obedience. Because Allah does not only test His servants with enemies, He tests them by asking for what they love most. What comes next is not a story of survival, but a story of surrender, the kind of surrender that built a house on barren land and turned a single family into a legacy that billions follow today. If these stories are strengthening your faith, subscribe to Islam for You now. Like this video so this reminder reaches hearts that feel lost between fear and trust. And comment Tawakkaltu ala Allah, because what you're about to hear is what true reliance on Allah really looks like. After defying his people and breaking their false gods, Ibrāhīm alayhi salam was commanded to leave everything he knew: home, family, safety. This was his Hijrah, not for wealth, not for comfort, but purely for Allah. He traveled with his wife Hājar radiallahu anha and their infant son Ismā alayhi salam until Allah led them to a place with no trees, no water, no people, a barren valley surrounded by mountains. There, Ibrāhīm received a command that defies human logic: leave them behind, alone. No explanation, no visible reason, just obedience. When Ibrāhīm turned to leave, Hājar followed him and asked, "Did Allah command you to do this?" When he replied yes, her fear disappeared instantly. She said words that define faith: "Then He will not abandon us." This was not blind hope, it was certainty. Ibrāhīm walked away while Hājar stood alone in the desert, holding her child, trusting the Lord of the unseen. Soon the water ran out. Ismā cried, a mother's heart shattered. Hājar ran between the hills of Safa and Marwa, searching desperately, not once, not twice, but 7 times. She ran not knowing help was coming, yet believing it must, and Allah honored her struggle by making it an eternal act of worship. At the feet of Ismā, the earth split and Zamzam flowed, a miracle born from patience, effort, and tawakkul. Years passed. Ibrāhīm returned to find his son grown, obedient, gentle, devoted to Allah. Then came the test that shook the heavens. Ibrāhīm saw in a dream that he was sacrificing his son, and the dreams of prophets are revelation. He did not rush. He spoke to Ismā with honesty and mercy. "O my son, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. What do you think?" Ismā replied with words that define submission. "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, among the patient." Father and son walked together. No rebellion, no tears recorded, only obedience. When Ibrāhīm laid his son down and placed the blade upon his neck, Allah intervened. The knife did not cut. The test was complete. Allah replaced Ismā with a ram and declared, "You have fulfilled the vision." This was not a test of blood, it was a test of the heart. Then came the final honor. Allah commanded Ibrāhīm and Ismā to raise the foundations of the Kaaba, not a palace, not a monument, but a house built on pure intention. As they lifted stone upon stone, they made dua, "Our Lord, accept this from us." From that barren valley rose the center of Tawheed, the direction of prayer, the heartbeat of the Ummah. If this story reminded you what real faith looks like, subscribe now, because the legacy of Ibrāhīm lives in every prayer, every Hajj, every sacrifice made for Allah. Like this video so this message reaches those struggling to trust Allah's plan, and comment Rabbi ij'alni muqima salah, because the dua of Ibrāhīm is still alive today.